Guys, in today's video, we're gonna be breaking down a super simple, super easy to follow system that you guys are gonna be able to use to take this overgrown hair and turn it into a nice shape, a really tight taper, and a textured fringe. And I think you guys are gonna love the fading system that we use for the taper because that can be used on all hair textures and all hair types, from fades, high fades, low fades, tapers. So we're gonna get right into it. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any questions. All right, guys, so the first thing that we like to do is make sure that the hair is fully saturated, right? You're gonna wanna make sure that the hair is wet so that way you can have control over it while you're combing it out. And essentially what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna comb this, separating the sides from the top, and we're gonna base that off of the growth pattern. You can see his crown right here. So let's split the hair accordingly from here to each recession point. So I find it a little bit easier actually to start pretty much the comb right here on the crown and kind of use my thumb to follow the hair as we comb it. And then that makes it a little bit easier to kind of get these clean splits, right? To be able to separate the top from the sides. Then we'll go ahead and do the same thing right here. Just kind of use your finger to follow. And you want to follow through all the way down to that recession point. That's definitely going to be the easiest way, you know, to get a clean separation from the crown to these corners here. Separate the top from the bottom. The same thing here, just use your finger, follow the comb as you go all the way through. So hopefully y'all can see how much easier it is to get that split, right? When you're using your finger, right? Following the comb all the way through. So what I'm gonna do first is we're gonna do some layering because we need to build this shape, right? The goal is gonna be to have a clean taper, to build it up into a good shape to have the textured fringe. Let's go ahead and just jump right into the layering, guys. I know that I'm gonna want it tight towards the bottom so that way we can have a nice clean taper, but I also wanna have enough volume up here at the top so that way he doesn't have any hair sprouting out because it's too short. We wanna have a nice full crown. So if I start to pick up the hair here in the nape area, let's go ahead and start to create some shape. So again, this is kind of like a triangular shape. We're gonna wanna keep it tight at the bottom and float our way up. And then we're just gonna take this all the way around, guys. Remember at all times, you're gonna wanna have it tight at the bottom and then floating your way up and off the head. Similar, you know, in a way how you would be like creating the shape with the clipper, right? Where you're floating your way up and off the head. But just continue to do this. You can have a little more control using the scissors, keeping the fingers tight at the bottom and angling it up off the head. Then if you need to adjust your grip, you definitely can, because sometimes it could be a little uncomfortable, you know, working your way all the way around the head with the scissors. But, you know, whether you need to take the comb from the top or from the bottom, you know, do what you got to do. Establish that shape. I started here in the back with this section, and then I'm able to follow that traveling guideline all the way throughout, even up here into the taper area. As you see, even here in the taper area, I'm still following the same concept. You know, I'm up tight at the very bottom, but pulling out as we get higher, trimming that down. And again, right here, you see it's like elevated up at the top and tight at the bottom. And we're just gonna keep on trimming down. So that is a great way to go ahead and start and establish this shape early. And then if you guys wanna do a little bit of cleanup work, when you're right here in this area, you can go ahead and take your comb and then just do a little bit of scissor over comb just to kind of soften up these different layers that you've done. It's almost like cross-checking in a way, because, you know, we did basically vertical sections all the way throughout here. So if you wanna polish it up a little bit, you can go in the opposite way and you can go ahead and do some horizontal cross-checking here. So we're gonna do the same concept again, guys. Remember that point that we started with, right? I'm gonna follow that point again, still using my thumb to follow the comb through. So that way I can go ahead and create a nice clean split down the middle. And we can pick up on that line here and just find the point in the front where the hair naturally wants to split as well. So go ahead and clean up that separation right there. You have the top split in the two sides, right? And according to the growth pattern. So the easiest way that I like to do this, you're gonna notice that the comb creates these lines coming down, right? That's actually gonna make it easier for you to pick up sections of hair and have that control. So let's go ahead and pick up the first section of hair. And this is where we're gonna go ahead and determine how long we're gonna want this hair to be. So I know we can go ahead and remove a good solid 1.5 inches off the top and still have the volume that we need for this style. So I'll take that clean right across the middle, and then I'm gonna continue following that traveling guideline going back And I know that I have a traveling guideline because you could see through. That's why you don't want to pick up too much hair at once. I could see underneath that the hair that I just cut. So I'm gonna go ahead and match that again. And now we're gonna continue working this back here. And I'm gonna keep on following that traveling guideline, just picking up a few rows of hair at a time. So guys, now that we went ahead and did that traveling guideline, let's go ahead and re-split the hair. We're gonna bring it back to that center point where we started at. And you know, this is really how simple haircutting can be. It doesn't have to be a super overcomplicated process. You saw how simple it was to remove that main bulk. Now I'm gonna show you how simple it can be to blend in that middle length to the side length that we already established. And I'm gonna pick up a few more rows of hair, but instead of elevating directly up, I'm gonna pull these outwards. And you could see a short point here that is the length on the side we established, and a short point here, which is the top length we established. And if you just make one cut like that, that's how simple it can be to be able to connect the sides to the top. So, you know, it's really just a matter of creating a shape on the side, creating a shape on the top, and then connecting the two. You know, so it really doesn't have to be very overcomplicated. You see the shape you made on top, you see the shape you made on the side, clip off the excess. And again, using that traveling guideline, we'll take it all the way back. Since this is gonna be a textured fringe cut, we're gonna wanna make sure that this hair doesn't extend too far past the brow. So pretty much the way that I like to go about this is I'm gonna pull this hair forward, and we're not going for a clean edge up cut, like a clean chop in the front. No, we're going for a more textured look. So I'm gonna go in and create a very textured, very choppy finish in the front. And we can even further soften this down the road with a razor blade. But for right now, y'all could see, it's really just kind of creating a nice chunky finish here. Guys, so this is the Tomb45 sea salt spray, and this is what we're gonna be using. We're gonna saturate his hair with this, and this is gonna give the hair that kind of, that beach look, right? Like you've been swimming all day in the ocean, and you know, the hair kind of has that salty feel where it's like nice and textured, and really give it a nice fluff. But you're gonna wanna make sure you put enough sea salt spray in here to be able to give it that effect. Really work that into the roots. So this is the setup that came out at the same time as the clipper and as the trimmer. You can see it's in the same color scheme, but we're using the Babyliss diffuser attachment. Have it on medium heat, but high speed, because I found that when it's on the highest heat, like these fingers can actually get really, really hot and irritate the client's skin. So that's why I like to have it on medium heat. And the best technique that I like to do, guys, is press it down and just do this twisting motion. If you could just do this twisting motion over and over again, all the way throughout the head, that's what's gonna really help these curls kind of pop out. And I try not to let the diffuser cap really move around too much. I just wanna twist and rotate it in that section. So you guys can already really see this fluff is starting to be built in there, man. Like the body is there, the shape is there, and now you can really start to see like kind of that built up shape that we were creating this whole time. All right, guys, so for the universal fading system, guys, like I said, today we're gonna be doing it on this taper area, but the principles for this fading, you can use it here in a taper, you can use it in a low fade, you can use it in a high fade on any hair texture, guys. I always recommend starting with the clipper closed. And the reason you wanna start with the clipper closed is because, you know, if you go in with the trimmer to put in that initial line, it's gonna be a very harsh line to be able to fade out later. You definitely can get a very precise fading guideline with your trimmer, but honestly, you're just making the job way too difficult. And it's so much more efficient if you just go in with the clipper all the way closed. So let's go ahead and do the same thing back here and on the other side. Clipper close is gonna be the most reliable, easy to fade out guideline anytime you're fading down to skin. So that's your primary guideline. Now we need to go in and add a secondary guideline. A lot of YouTubers are gonna tell you for your secondary guideline, you need to go in with the clipper all the way open. I would argue that going in with the half guard closed actually is a softer guideline and easier guideline to work with. And you're gonna see what I mean as we work through this process, but we're gonna be fading down after this. And plastic fades easier into plastic than metal does. Again, it's the same concept as, you know, using the trimmer and no guard all the way open, but it's a much softer, easier line to fade out. So again here, half line all the way closed. Now, I would definitely recommend that you guys, for efficiency's sake, use the 1.5 guard with the lever open and start with pressure at the bottom and float your way up and off the head. With the 1.5 guard, when it's open, it's actually gonna leave the hair dark enough to where you still can play with the gradiency, but it's gonna help you kind of layer and start to create, you know, even more defined shape for your taper. Go in with this 1.5, pressure at the bottom, and float your way up and off the head, still with the lever open. And you're gonna see it does leave it dark enough to where you still have a clean taper canvas to play with as far as gradiency goes. But let's take this all the way around the head here, guys. So just look at that shape right there, guys. It complements perfectly the layering that we started with and the shape that we're creating with the clipper. So let's go ahead and knock out this last part right here. 1.5 guard open, pressure at the bottom, float your way up. Now we can go ahead and close that 1.5 guard, and we're gonna work just a little bit lower than what we just were. When the 1.5 open, that leaves it pretty dark to where, you know, you can seamlessly blend up into bulk. But once you start to close this lever, now you're starting to play with the gradiency and you're starting to lighten up this little guideline right here that we created with that half guard close. Okay, so 1.5 close here. We're gonna go ahead and keep on working out this little line, this little guideline right here. It's the same concept, guys. You know, you're just working incrementally lower than you just were. And here we go again, 1.5 closed. Now, if we're gonna be fading down, you know, you would think that the 1.5 guard, the next lowest guard is gonna be the 1. But I'm gonna suggest that the half guard actually is gonna be the best option here. Remember, we set the secondary guideline in with the half guard closed. What better guard to take out that line than with the half guard itself? If I take the half with the lever open, I can do the same thing. I could float my way up. Notice I'm gonna keep on doing the same motions, guys. The same thing that I was doing with the 1.5 guard open, same thing I was doing with the 1.5 guard close. So I'm just working through here. Now notice I'm gonna start closing the lever as I work my way down. If you're thinking about it, really the only thing that you're missing is the 1 guard with the lever right about halfway closed. And I think, as you can see here, we're really finessing that just with hand motion, right? Pressure at the bottom and floating your way up. So guys, we're coming to the end now, right? Like, all we have to do now is worry about this primary guideline that we put in. What better to take out the clipper closed line than the clipper closed itself? So we're gonna return to the clipper closed and we're gonna break through this line. And now, since we're gonna go a little higher, we'll go a little longer. Click this first lever. And this is kind of like our bumper, you know, like our bumper guards when we're bowling, right, for safety. I know I need to go a little higher, so I'm gonna go a little longer. And we can push that line confidently higher. Now I'm gonna go the next click up, a little longer, go a little higher. Now we go a little longer, the final click lever. And now we can just use the corner of the blade to float our way up into this half guard area right here, guys. So guys, we're gonna be using the Tomb45 collaboration, this trimmer. But what's special about this one that we're trying out today is this is the one that has been sharpened and modified by Beam. He's got his company called the Blade Lab, so we highly, highly recommend that. And I'm gonna be showing you guys how this performs on this haircut. And you know, when I'm lining up here, I also like to make sure that this C-cup kind of flows into the style a little bit too, right? But now here's the cool thing that I really appreciated about Blade Lab and how he was able to set this blade is I was able to request him to not zero gap it all the way. I still like to have like a tiny little micro gap on how my trimmers are, because I know naturally I can be a little bit heavy-handed when I'm lining up. So I'm able to still get a super precise, super crispy line that also is fully capable of balding out without snagging or pulling any hair. You know, the customization feature for me is like top tier when it comes to Blade Lab. So thank you so much, Beam, for setting this up. Y'all can see how crispy that line is on the first shot. And then we can go ahead and catch up here right over the ear. You can see it's catching all those hairs with no problem. And that thing is crispy, man. I love that. And then like I said, guys, these blades are set so well that like I'm also able, as I mentioned before, to bald out the back here at the back of the nape with no irritation. So no, it's definitely a worthy investment. And he doesn't even really overcharge for the blade itself. I'm pretty sure I paid like 60 bucks for this blade. So I would highly recommend it for you guys, man. You know, the lineups just came out super crispy. It was able to bald out. Exactly what I needed. All right, man, let's go ahead and show you this cut. This is what the taper in the side and the back is looking like. What do you think about that?
Very nice. Thank you.
Like that? Awesome, bro. Love it. All right, cool. If you love it, I love it. Guys, let us know what you thought about today's tutorial and if the fading system that we used in today's taper is gonna help you be more efficient and just take that stress away. Let us know if it gave you a good plan. We're also super interested to know, what do you think about what the sea salt spray did for his hair texture? I feel like it really helped these waves pop, the curls come out. So let us know what you think about that, and we'll see you guys in the next video.